on Red State Talk Radio, 6 to 8 on Red State, and then we're going to carry over an hour. But he's talked me into it, man. We're going to start producing on the weekends from 10 until 12 a 1950s old bebop style radio show. That's right. And there'll be more information about that, but we were talking about it. And that's one that we're actually going to syndicate. We were talking, and he agrees that's a syndication kind of show. And, not saying that this isn't syndicated, but, let's be honest. Let's be real. I don't believe in shooting I do believe in shooting the crap with you guys because that's what we do. That's what talk radio is about. But I don't mind, just being gut honest with you. And I'll tell you, talking heads right here at Red State Talk Radio, 36 hours of live talking heads. And there's nothing wrong. Because alternative media, and we're going to get into this in a minute, is important because it is actually truthful. It is actually honest. It has some integrity. You got to find the shows, but they're out there, and especially at Red State Talk Radio. But the radio business itself is kind of flaky. There's a lot. They have their you have I got to get rid of that. That's one of those wasteful words. But I just did it again. Did it again. I did a contest with my old show when I started catching myself using these filler words, every time I said a filler word, it was $5 and I had to give it to a charity. Maybe I'll have to do that again. Got to hit it where it hurts sometimes. But getting back to Dave's idea, or my idea that I ran by Dave, who's a radio guy, very well known in the radio business. He's not a broadcaster, but he supplies all the major guys. He knows them all. Knows them all. Knows all the major studios. Knows everybody in the business. And so when we were talking, we're gonna, there it is, $5, boom, done. So when we were talking over lunch, ran an idea by him about doing a 1950s dance radio type show. And we're gonna do that for all you car lovers, all you guys. Great music from the 1950s. So we're gonna bring that back, and we're gonna air that on Saturday mornings from it's going to be 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., 2 hours. Might go 3 or 4. Might make a full day out of it. And so we'll play all the classic 1950 songs. And I was listening to them this weekend, and wow, there's a lot of great music out there. Yeah, I'll tell you guys, if you're tired of the crappy music that's out there today, just turn the dial back. Turn the time back. And one thing that I just realized myself, the further back I go, the better the music gets. Now, I do cut it off about 1940s, 1930s. I do like that type of music, but I feel that you got to play it on a record player with one of those big old horns on it, right? Where it's real scratchy, and you got to crank the record player up. If you're going to play that kind of music or listen to it, that's the only way you should listen to it. 1950s is about as far back as I'll go digitally and everything. But you go back 1940s, and there's a point where you just got to bring out the old phonograph. There's a lot of you millennials out there don't even know what that is. Have no idea. And just like I remember one time when I was doing we were at a garage sale with my youngest daughter, and gosh bless her heart. She is probably about 8 or 9. And we came across a typewriter. And she was like, "Dad, what is this? What this is cool." And I told her, I said, "It's a portable printer. You can take it, you can go anywhere in the world with it, and it will work. And you know what? You don't have to plug it in. There's no power whatsoever. It's all completely self-contained. All you got to do is put paper in it." And she was just amazed by it. She was utterly amazed by it. She's like, "Why don't I have one of these?" She didn't realize that you actually had to type it in, but that's another story. And I don't know if I should say this on the air, but she's my smartest one. in the bunch and stuff. But it's amazing when you don't know what things are and then you see them for the first time. It's not a fact that that you're stupid. I don't want to say stupid. That's such a harsh word. But when you look at something that you've never seen before, you don't know what it is. I mean, look how long. If I walked up to you today and said, "Here's a light bulb," or "Hey, I want you to draw me a light bulb, and I want you to tell me how it works and how you would make a light bulb." But pretty much everybody could do that, right? We all could do it. Every one of us. We could all pretty much tell you how a light bulb works, and we could draw out the filament and make the little, do all that, right? And we could do that. Well, if it was so easy, why did it take thousands of years for Thomas Edison to create it, or for man to create it? Yeah, that's right. You don't know what you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. So we shouldn't criticize, but I do find it fascinating. A lot of people probably wouldn't know what a phonograph is. Wouldn't know that when we in the day of music, it wasn't push buttons. It was actually all manual. Everything was manual. And so we're going to bring those days back. I even told them I want a cart machine. You guys are going, what's that? It's what we play jingles on. Old tape machines. And we used to pop them in manually and hit play and everything. It was, being a DJ back in the day was a job. If you ever go out to YouTube and do like sound check, radio sound check in 1950 or what, and watch some of those guys in the 70s. It was nonstop. Not only did they have to worry about talking on the air, but they also had to worry about pushing the right buttons and everything. And we're gonna bring, there's $15 right there. We're gonna pick a charity before the show's over with. But we're gonna bring those days back. I don't know if I'm gonna go as far as the old cart machines. Maybe I will, because I think that brings the nostalgia of the show back. Brings us back. As we get older, I don't know about you guys. I'll tell you though, as I get older, I long for the day, right? And I'm not even that old. I was born in the mid 60s, in the late 60s, early 70s. I'll give you a time range there. Somewhere in that time zone I was born. So I don't even remember the film. I wasn't even there. But I still long for those days. The American Graffiti. What a great movie. What an incredible movie. And those were the days. Sandy and I watched Rogue One over the weekend, and I remember my first Star Wars movie. I remember going to see it. We were stationed at K.I. Sawyer Air Force Base in northern Michigan as a kid. And what was cool about being in the Air Force is that a movie was only $2. $2 to go see a movie on the airbase. And I saw my Star Wars movie, my very first Star Wars movie at K.I. Sawyer Air Force Base. And it was incredible. And, as a kid, basically, living on an air base or on a military base, as a kid, you could go anywhere that your bike would take you, where your feet would go. You didn't have to worry about it. Parents did not have to worry about where their kids were. Now, there is I don't want to say a code of conduct on a military base, but there is. I mean, when you're under the age of 18, when they played Reveille, you had to be in your yard. There was no wandering the streets. Not Reveille, but when they had to play taps and stuff. So there were certain rules that they had on the bases depending upon your age. But other than that, we had the youth club. We had of course, our school was there, and we would ride our bikes up to the movie theater and go watch movies. Roller skating. Now, I always got in trouble. Not got in trouble, but I always fishing. Fishing was my thing. I was always fishing when I was a kid. And when I wasn't fishing, I would ride my bike up to the flight line and watch the big B-52s take off. I love that. There's nothing like sitting on your back and watching a B-52 come right over your head. If you only knew what the power that was in those. And we're going to take a quick break, pay some bills. We're going to get into the news. I do promise, morning news radio. We will get into the news when we get back from our break. We got a lot to talk about, a lot of things to cover. The phone lines are down this morning because we are switching out phone systems. There are a lot of changes going on here and also at Red State Talk Radio, and I'm sure Steve or Scott will talk about that on his show and some of the things that he's doing and everything. So there are a lot of changes going on, but hang in there. Don't go anywhere. We will be back in a few after we take this very short break, and got to pay some bills.
Red State Talk Radio is now available as a voice command on your Amazon Echo and Echo Dot by simply saying, Alexa, play Red State Talk Radio.
Red State Talk Radio on TuneIn.
Concern to every single American. Now, we've been hearing all these stories about sanctuary cities that...
You can now find us on the Amazon Echo and Echo Dot, on TuneIn, on iHeartRadio, and we also have the phone apps in the App Store for your particular phone. And just in case we activated your Echo Dot, Alexa, stop.
Hey, this is Leonora Cravota from Red State Talk Radio for MyPillow. I used to have trouble sleeping. MyPillow changed all that. I now fall asleep within moments of my head touching my pillow. That's how comfortable MyPillow is with its patented interlocking fill. MyPillow stays cool and does not go flat. Plus, it's machine washable and dryable. MyPillow has a 10-year warranty and a 60-day comfort guarantee. MyPillow is also the official pillow of the National Sleep Foundation, and it's made right here in the USA. MyPillow is now offering Red State Talk Radio listeners a 4-pack special with 2 premium standard or queen pillows and 2 go anywhere pillows. That's 4 pillows for the price of 1. To take advantage of this special offer, call 1-800-961-9194 and ask for promo code Red State. That's 1-800-961-9194. Promo code Red State. Put sleepless nights behind you with MyPillow, the most comfortable pillow you will ever own.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
Hey folks, did you know that 90% of all disease or discomfort is directly or indirectly related to an unclean colon? In fact, colon cancer is the 3rd most common form of cancer, and the lifetime risk of developing colon cancer is about 1 out of 20 men and women. This is Scott Adams from The Scott Adams Show and owner of Red State Talk Radio. I wanted a colon cleansing mild detox that would give me more energy without caffeine, and I found it with Life Change Tea by visiting getthetea.com. This herbal tea, with its unique blend of ingredients, is formulated to detoxify and cleanse your body and is available in a super strength formula. A healthy colon is the secret to living a healthy life. That's why I have 1 cup of Life Change Tea every day to keep the doctor away. Visit getthetea.com or call 928-308-0408. That's 928-308-0408. And tell them Scott from Red State Talk Radio sent you.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control over your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank account, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problems now by calling the experts at Tax Mediation Services and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. Tax Mediation Services is accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Call now for a free case review and a price protection guaranteed quote. Call Tax Mediation Services now at 800-790-4294. 800-790-4294. 800-790-4294.
You know, sometimes when you compare prices on products, you think to yourself, what difference does it make? The rates are all about the same anyway, but sometimes the rates are very different. Let me give you an example where there's a huge difference in pricing between companies. Vehicle protection plans. Look, if your car is 4 years or older, having a vehicle protection plan is a no-brainer. The trick is not to overpay for it. Here are the facts. The average price of a vehicle protection plan is $2,800, while the price of a TOCO warranty vehicle protection plan for most vehicles is just $1,500. The average down payment on a vehicle protection plan is $299. With TOCO warranty, there's no down payment. The average monthly payment on a vehicle protection plan is more than $160 a month. With TOCO, the average monthly payment is just $49. To get a highly rated vehicle protection plan at a